What's up, NBA fans? Nic Rohloff here at NBA Now by Chat Sports. We got winners and we got losers. Shout out Chuck Norris for me. If you know, you know. But on today's show, we're going to talk about the NBA Combine winners and losers that has wrapped up now, and we look towards the draft in just about a month and a week. So 5 weeks away, it'll be very fun. We got winners and losers, 5 of each. But the question is, do you want a new mock draft from us here at Chat Sports next week after the NBA Combine? Well, if you do, hit that sub button because last week's mock draft after the lottery got 74 new subscribers. Shout out to the 74 new real ones. If we get 75, we'll drop a mock draft next week. Let's get things started with Baylor Scheierman, the wing from Creighton. He is a winner, and I am a big fan of the lefty. Transferred into Creighton 2 years ago and then balled out for McDermott and the Blue Jays. It was a great scorer, great marksman, and he was able to showcase that this week at the NBA Combine. He absolutely lit it up from three, and listen, I'm not surprised that he lit it up from three, but you never know how you're going to be able to jump up in competition with these new athletes, players that you might have not played against before, because there's people overseas, there's people in different conferences. He had 17 points in game one of scrimmages. There was 4 total scrimmages. Each team played 2 games. Not everyone participated, but Scheierman had 17 in game 1 and 9 in game 2 while shooting above 50% from the field in both of those games and shot 4 of 7 from 3 in the first game. Scheierman showcased a lot of three-point shooting, and teams are always looking at that. Loser, Tyler Smith, the forward from the G League Ignite. I'm used to saying loser Tyler Smith, but that's just because we have a producer here that's also got the same name. But listen, I was disappointed in Smith, and he had a lot of questions going into the Combine because he was one of many that is a first-round talent from the G League Ignite. We know he's an athletic freak who's 6'10", 6'11", with a crazy, lengthy wingspan that is projecting as one of the best defensive players in this draft and able to get to the rim and finish. But he did not beat the no-jumper allegations, folks. He shot 3 of 10 at the free throw line during the Combine free throws, and I believe he also shot 4 of 25 from 3. It was not pretty from Tyler Smith, and we asked and wanted to see if he had any type of jump shot. Well, we got our answer. At least as of right now, he does not. Winner, Nikola Djurisic. You might not know the name, folks, but you better get to knowing it because this Serbian is an absolute stud. And if you know Nikola Jovic from the Miami Heat, well, Djurisic actually plays on that team and was teammates with Jovic a few seasons ago. Djurisic has been compared to Paul George. Yes, you heard that correctly. A viral clip on Twitter was rolling around of this guy's a Serbian Paul George. And if you watch him play, he has a very similar type of game. 6'6", 6'7", smooth with a handle, easy transition into his jump shot off the dribble, and a high arcing release. He also was a pretty solid athlete. He actually threw down a couple dunks, including a couple head toppers while playing overseas in Serbia. Was at the Combine a year ago, really struggled, comes back in year 2 and was solid, had 16 points in the second game of the scrimmage while shooting above 60% from the field, only had 4 points in game 1 coming off the bench, but when he was given more minutes in game 2, he was able to showcase why he is one of the better scorers from Serbia. Who is your biggest winner from the NBA Combine? I honestly think it might be Djurisic. I'm going to have him ranked pretty high in my next big board. I didn't have him in my initial top 30, but we'll see if he cracks the list the next time around. Next up here, we're talking losers. That is Cam Spencer, the guard from UConn, who was just terrific and instrumental in the Huskies capturing a second straight national championship. He is known as a shooter, a high IQ basketball player that can really light it up from 3, but when he can't hit his shot, well, then we got serious concerns. And I didn't like what I saw from Cam Spencer in the 5-on-5 scrimmages. There's a bump in athleticism, there's a bump in defense, and when you're not working with the great mind that Dan Hurley is, maybe he's not able to get as open as he once was in college. We'll see if he's able to bounce back in workouts prior to the NBA draft, but Spencer did not showcase his best stuff in this week. Winner, Coleman Hawkins, the forward from Illinois, who has done a lot of good things in his collegiate career. He was at college for quite a while. Hawkins has got really good size to him, about 6'10", could play the 4, probably projects as a 4, not as big, not as strengthy to play center in the NBA, but he flashed the ability to hit a lot of open threes. In one of the scrimmages, he went 6 of 7 from the field, including a couple triples, and him showcasing that just tells me that he has the ability to really be that stretch 4 that teams are going to ask him to be in the NBA. And if you pair him up with a center, Hawkins can get boards, he can defend, he can move his feet laterally, and his collegiate experience will make him one of the better potential second-round picks. Probably not going to be able to go first round, but you get him in the middle of day 2, you're going to find a good one in Coleman Hawkins. We are sponsored by Prize Picks, the best daily fantasy sports app there is. And, well, this upcoming night, we got a game against the Thunder and the Mavericks. I'm taking the more than on 1.5 block shots for Daniel Gafford. He's just been spectacular. More than Kyrie Irving, 19.5 points. More than Isaiah Joe, 6.5 points. And then less than Josh Giddey, half of three-pointers made. And I don't know how I could even watch these NBA games without playing Prize Picks because it's so easy. It's daily fantasy, made easy, made for you. You just pick 2 or more player stat projections, pick more or less. That easy. I'm telling you, just 2 click of the buttons, and you could win up to serious cash. That entry that I put in there is to win 10 times my money. But if you did all demons for 4-player entries, you could win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct entries. So turn your hoops knowledge into some serious cash with Prize Picks. I don't know what I would do without it during these NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs as well. You can also make entries on golf, MMA. They got the whole package for you. So join Prize Picks and get a first deposit match up to $100 when you download the app and use code CLNS. Or go to the link in the description and comments, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. That simple. All right, next loser up here, Ryan Dunn, the forward from Virginia. And, well, we talked about Tyler Smith being an athletic freak who can defend but has no offensive game. Yeah, that's the same for Ryan Dunn. And I'm a Ryan Dunn guy. I am. He's got an incredibly long wingspan. He's 6'9", 6'10". I compared him to Jared Vanderbilt. He was one of the best defenders in college basketball last year for Tony Bennett in the Virginia Cavaliers. But the offense isn't there. Had a lot of issues at the free throw line as well and was not able to showcase his jump shot in front of NBA scouts. And the fact of the matter is, if you're not a pure center, you're just not going to be able to play in today's NBA if you can't shoot the 3-ball. And Ryan Dunn's going to have to prove to scouts he can. Right now, at best, he's Jared Vanderbilt. But Jared Vanderbilts are good role players in the NBA, but you have to be a special type of defender to make it in the association. I think Dunn can, but if he doesn't develop a 3-pointer quick and fast, he could be out of the league in 2 or 3 seasons. Next winner up here, Alex Karaban, another Connecticut Husky that we have to talk about because he is honestly rising up my draft board. I had him as a 40th ranked prospect right in the early portion of the second round, but he's fringing in on the first round pick territory because he flashed his high IQ with size and a great shot, man. We knew he was a good shooter from his days at UConn as playing the past 2 seasons, winning a couple national championships, shooting 40% from 3. But he already has good size. He honestly has the size type of a Draymond Green, but a way better shot. Not as athletic, not as good as a defender, but Karaban is very good in terms of making the right decisions offensively, dishing it to teammates, taking his own shot. He can shoot it from deep. One of the best numbers in the stationary shooting drill at the Combine as well. Karaban, any team looking for floor spacing power forward that knows how to play the game of basketball is going to have their eyes set on Karaban late first round, early second round. We'll stay in the Big East in another Creighton Blue Jay here. Trey Alexander. He is a loser for me. So we got 1 winner and 1 loser for both the Huskies and Blue Jays right now. And the reason why is he disappointed in the 2 scrimmages he played. And it was honestly disappointing for me because I'm a Trey Alexander guy. I liked his mentality, his ability to take control of the offense and distribute to others. He was one of the better floor generals in college basketball a year ago, and we talked about Baylor Scheierman earlier. Well, he was able to get a lot of good looks because of Alexander's floor general ability. But in game 1 of the scrimmages, Trey Alexander shot 1 of 8 from the field. That's not good. If you didn't know, that's not good. He has a good three-point shot. It is shown. It is proven. He just was not able to showcase it in game 1. Did bounce back a little bit in game 2 and had a nice game where he shot 4 of 10 from the field with 5 assists. But overall, I think he was a little overwhelmed in the 2 scrimmages, but hopefully he's able to bounce back in the summer league for whatever team drafts him, because he still will go in the second round of the NBA draft. Who was your biggest loser from the NBA Combine? We're not talking Bronny James on today's show. You could talk about him being a winner or loser, for being honest, but we'll stick with my top 10 in terms of 5 winners, 5 losers. Let me know who your biggest loser is down below. I'd probably say right now mine is Tyler Smith. Last winner on today's show, Ajay Mitchell, the guard from UC Santa Barbara. And I always love to play this game because I know it, and I think I've said it a couple times. I'm going to do it again. Name the other UC Santa Barbara player in the NBA for me. Hint, he's also a guard. One of my favorite players that I used to watch. Shout out. I almost gave you the answer. I almost gave you the answer. I couldn't do it. All right, but back to Ajay Mitchell. There was questions of he could improve his stock. I think he's a early second rounder, and I believe that he's a top 30 guy. I like what he has in terms of size, his ability to score the basketball on all 3 levels. The only question is he going to take that rise from competition, playing in a low-level mid-major, to the NBA? I think he's got the game. He's got the jump shot to do it. Ajay Mitchell showcased that during the scrimmages this past week. Big fan of what he did at the Combine. All right, final loser, the biggest loser, if you will. Is that show still going on? I don't think so. I don't think so. That show was never that good anyway. Hot take me. I don't know if that's a hot take or not. But either way, Donovan Clingan is a loser, and he didn't test well. I still think he's going to go in the top 10, and there's buzz out there that he could be considered as a top 3 selection. But the numbers did not replicate what I at least wanted to see from Donovan Clingan in terms of testing. He was close to last in lane agility, the shuttle run, and the 3/4 court sprint. And just for reference, by the way, he is 7'1 and a quarter, so he's very, very big. So it's not like you'd expect him to be this superb athlete. But Zach Edey, who is the biggest guy at this combine and biggest guy in the draft, Zach Edey at least outperformed Clingan in every single agility test here. So that's not good. If you're getting out, I guess, athleticism, or I don't know how even I would say this, but you're outperformed. That's a good word, Trace. Good word. Outperformed by Zach Edey in terms of athleticism. That is not ideal. And his 29-inch vertical, by the way, was also the 3rd lowest at the entire combine. I like Clingan. He's an excellent rim protector, but when he has to go up against these shifty, quick guards and this new iteration of big men that are so athletic and can really space you and take you out to the three-point line, I am skeptical of Clingan being able to do that. So I think scouts are going to feel the same way on Clingan. Still going to be a top 10 pick because of his rim protection ability, but I question if he can be a defender in the NBA that can switch onto guards and other big men on the perimeter. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. We can continue the conversation on NBA Combine winners and losers over on my social media. At Nic_Rohloff is the handle on Twitter or X. Go give me a follow, and you know what? Shoot me your hottest take surrounding the NBA draft.